started, I want to thank everyone who has supported or shown interest in our content. We are growing fast, and we can't do it without you. We love and appreciate you all. Follow us on IG for daily motivational content and up-to-date information on prizes just for following or tuning in. Take a look at our merchandise online with our new affiliates and collaborations weekly. Also, join us on our live streaming LMC radio station on Mixcloud Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is subject to change. So look for us, tune in, and let's have some fun. Chapter 6, Awareness.
When you hear this sound, it's time to pay extra attention.
In the last chapter, we displayed the different levels of the common asshole. I wanted to start this chapter by talking a little bit about it and mention some key highlights and closer to that chapter. Please remember that an asshole is anyone who makes someone feel awful regardless of whether it is the truth or not, and where a cold delivery or lack of empathy may come into play at any time. When one asshole doesn't like you, they team up with other assholes who do not like you. And before you know it, there's a group of hating assholes. Funny thing is, they don't even like each other. Toxic people reveal themselves when they get angry at you for how they treated you. Your boss will never pay you enough to be his neighbor. Before you go and start thinking you are depressed or have low self-esteem, look around and make sure you're not surrounded by a bunch of assholes that are making you feel that way. Awareness, which is a noun, is knowledge or perception of a situation or fact. Other words for awareness are consciousness, recognition, realization, cognizance, perception, apprehension, understanding, grasp, appreciation, acknowledgment, knowledge, sensitivity to, sensibility to, insight into, familiar with, or acquainted with. Where the opposite is a very familiar word and a term I use a lot called ignorance, which is simply not knowing, but if they think they do, then we are talking about asshole number 3. You see how that works? If you remember from the previous chapters, I offered my view on how ignorance is a choice, and you are responsible for your lack of knowledge and savoir faire. You must make the decision to grow as soon as possible and wherever you are in your life. Common sense is not a gift, it is a punishment. Because you must deal with everyone who does not have it or want it. But we live above the norm. We are beyond common sense. Self-awareness, conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motive, and desires. In its lamest term, you know what makes you tick. Self-awareness is understanding why you feel the way you do and how your behavior affects you and others. Once you start to understand this, the freedom to improve things about yourself will help you to create the life that you really want. Now you can create your own opportunities and understand the true meaning behind independency. High levels of self-awareness are achieved when you understand your own emotions, behavior, and thoughts. It's the difference between living in a conscious or an unconscious life. You can also say the difference between real and delusional. You cannot continue to wing it or make believe you know what is really going on inside of you. To consider yourself at the top levels of self-awareness, you must be able to identify, maintain, and control your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Have resolved the difficult issues from your upbringing. Feel great about living in your own skin. Currently, you are building positive relationship with others and they become easy to achieve. Empathy with others comes naturally. You treat people the way you expect to be treated, with kindness and respect. You do not lose control. Most of the time, your mood is positive and energetic. Hard situations cannot destroy you because you know you have the ability to conquer them. You are proud of the way you think, feel, and act. And that's okay as long as you're not cocky about it. When you lack self-awareness, the difficult times start gathering up. If you do not have self-awareness, how are you going to recognize how your actions affect others? When you achieve self-awareness, you realize that thoughts and actions are your own choices. The silent bonus is this will simultaneously lead to emotional intelligence skills. Throughout the entire Live Above the Norm series, I stress that emotions should play no role in decision making, and utilizing prudence before you speak can avoid negative escalation. It is possible to understand yourself to the point where you can consciously decide what you think, feel, and do. Absolutely. I am living proof. To set goals, it is essential to have knowledge of our strengths and weaknesses. Confidence comes from our strengths and our ability to improve on our weaknesses. It's a great thing when we know where we need to grow. This way, we can also learn from our mistakes and failures. Some of the benefits of self-awareness include recognizing what you do well and what you need to improve in. Lift your happiness level by aligning your actions with your words and ideals. Live the life that your conscience so desperately wants you to. Become a better leader by understanding how people look at your behavior. Strengthen your relationships by practicing emotional intelligence. Increase your motivation by working on your true passions. Remove stress by recognizing emotional triggers. Realize that your needs will not always be enjoyable. We must focus on what is relevant and what is irrelevant. To take it a step further, we need to identify the importance between wants and needs. One of the things that concern me is who is around when things are going well. Opportunities. Your mouth can stop your blessings, so you need to learn to be quiet more often. At this point, you are left with two choices: grow or repeat. Motivation. Sometimes you don't need to sit and be still and meditate. Sometimes you need to move your body and work out your anxieties. Go outside and get active. You must love the struggle just as much as the reward, to be grateful and appreciate the grind. You want the top of the mountain, but you hate the climb. You want the success, but you won't put forth the right effort. You want to grow, but without feeling the growing pains? Nah. Patience should not be confused with lack of action. You can't start the next chapter in your life if you keep rereading the last one. You want a piece of the pie? I want the recipe. We are not the same. One of the reasons why many people are unhappy is because they thought too much about others' happiness. I owe myself an apology for letting you get comfortable with treating me like I'm average. Successful people are successful for one simple reason: they think about failure differently. Society has become so fake that the truth bothers people. Accountability feels like an attack when you're not ready to acknowledge how your behavior harms and affects others. The truth will always set you free, though it may piss you off at first. Most people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want to destroy their illusions. The more passionate you become of only accepting honesty, the more some don't know how to deal with it. The deeper and the more truthful one becomes, the more you will seem intimidating, and people are hella scared of the truth. Some people will just interrupt to lie about stuff they weren't even asked about. Karma. Karma says that sometimes you must suffer in life, but not because you were bad, but because you didn't realize where and when to stop being good. Every person is fighting a battle you know nothing about. You can sound confident and have anxiety. You can look healthy and feel like crap. You can look happy and be miserable inside. You can be good looking and feel ugly. Stay in your lane. People have a lot to say about lives they never lived. You must learn how to do something right before you put your own twist to it. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Play your role. It is easy to be anyone. The hardest person to be is yourself, especially if you don't like you. When you are in your own lane, there is no traffic. Jealousy will make you sink the ship if you can't be the captain. The word for this podcast is savoir faire, which is the ability to act or speak appropriately in social situations. To be aware, you must maintain a certain level of balance. You must distinguish what is real and what is realistic, what is genuine and what is imitation. although imitation to some may come across as the strongest form of flattery. When it comes to having clarity, that theory should not apply. If you cannot see things for what they really are and what they represent, you will have a hard time with this.
I want to thank everyone who is following us and has become a part of the Hormiga family. We love and appreciate you all. As you know, we have a deep admiration for those who genuinely want to grow and live above the norm. We are here to offer enlightening information about life and its many challenges. We also offer an array of business consulting strategies to maximize your work production, promotion, marketing, and to lift the spirits of your company staff. We also offer personal consulting through our life coaching program. So follow us on Instagram for daily motivational content and chances to win cash and nice prices for just tuning in. You can also join us on LMC Radio on the Mixcloud platform for our show called P.S. I Love Me, usually on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, subject to change, so tap in and check out the weekly schedule for the show and their very talented lineup of DJs in many genres.
So come and join us on this mystical journey. And keep in mind that it's okay to remain kind but not blind to those who want to rob you of your precious energy. Let's remove this from our path. Life is short, and tomorrow is never promised. But if we can make life a little easier by recognizing what is real and what is phony, then I serve my purpose here. Support those who support you, and I support you all. From the House of Facts, Positive Vibes, and Original Artistry, I am your host, Hormiga, promising to see you soon, and always remember to live above the norm.